Hey, welcome back. It's me, Nick, again. Thank you so much for wanting to be a part of this training video. Thank you so much. Today we're going to talk about a little more in depth. I'm going to give you a little more overview of how we should take an approach with online marketing, whether you're trying to be affiliate promoting products and you want to be one of the top or the best, or you could just simply be someone who just wants to be an entrepreneur all the way around. Okay, this is something that you want to pretty much consider when you're trying to start up your business. So I hope you have a pen and a pad, just get ready to take a few little notes. Okay, so before we get into the video, let's talk about the purpose and why I'm doing this. Again, I don't like to do anything without a purpose, like my intentions. And so my intention would be, or my purpose would be, to share the knowledge, informing those who may be newcomers on where to start, or most importantly, get to those people who've been struggling for quite some time, get them that important information that they need. Of course, you watched the last video, so you already know, if you can recall, that I told you that I struggled for years, 7 to 8 to be exact, probably longer than that, on trying to just grasp the concept or trying to understand what it takes to make money online. And a lot of frustration, a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of trips and falls along their way. Now, granted, I was back and forth and I would quit, but I think if I had stuck with it a little bit longer, some of those years could have been taken away. Like, I could have easily struggled for maybe like 6 months to a year, maybe. Because I say that because when everything went off like a light bulb for me and all the information clicked, it's just like, it's so simple. Why didn't I see this? And one of the reasons why I didn't see it is, well, the biggest reason that I didn't see it is because, one, I couldn't get it, and two, is because I was focused on the wrong things. I was focused on making money because I was so stressed with my job and everything, and I wanted to make a commission by any means, and that got in the way of me learning. And so my purpose is to offer information and share with you important information that can be vital for you, so that you can have a whole lot of learning curves. That's what I want to throw your way, a lot of learning curves. And so my approach to doing this video has a lot to do with me making sure that I accomplish my purpose, fulfill that purpose. And that's why when I do specific videos, I do it based off different types of styles of learning. As you know, we all, as human beings, we learn things differently. We process things differently. And there are 3 types of learning styles that we as human beings have. One would be the visual. You have people that are visual learners. Usually a visual learner is somebody who learns by what they can see. They see objects, graphs, charts, pictures, just information, all in general. They also are good at reading body language well and have good memory when it comes down to things that are written down. So if you are a visual learner, this would be the category, or these would be some of the traits, I should say, that you might possess when it comes down to learning. We have the auditorium. The auditorium learner is someone who's going to be the person that lets info sink in through hearing and speaking. So they basically are good at summarizing things up, and then they'll say it out loud, and it helps them memorize things. So if I tell you something and you take it in, you basically summarize it in your head, and then you repeat it, but you're repeating it in your own words. That's basically what an auditory learner is. And then we have the last one, which is a kinesthetic learner. This person likes to learn things hands-on. They're really skilled in subjects like math and science and would rather show opposed to just telling. They're more so of a doer rather than a talker. They the type that actions speak louder than words. So you might be someone that falls under this category. So these are the 3 styles of learning that I take into consideration when I just have my whole online marketing approach, because you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're trying to get across to the person that's on the receiving end, it's in a way that they can process it in their own way. Okay, and before I get into the video, I want to just leave a few tips for any of you, or just you in specific, who might fall under this category or under one of those categories. So if you fall under the visual category, one of the tips I will give you is basically turn the notes into pictures. So as I'm explaining something, make it a picture, a whole image in your head. Learn that the big picture is first, and then focus on the details. Make mind and concept maps instead of outlines. Also, color code parts of your notes that you're going to be taking. I also would suggest that you use flashcards when you're trying to study for online marketing. Use flashcards because, again, there's a lot of information out there, but at the same time, it's not hard. It's not complicated, but you can be overwhelmed. So you might want to, take some notes and use some flashcards so you can remember the important stuff, because sometimes when you suffer from information overload, you just can't think of anything. Okay? That would be some of my tips or advice to the person who's a visual learner. The auditory learner. Auditory learner, I would suggest that you replay this training video. Go back and replay it over. Make sure that you're listening to what I'm saying, and just repeat the material out loud. Repeat it in your own words so that you're able to get it. And if you're going to study anything like a textbook or anything about online or PDF or anything, read that out loud. Like, for instance, if I had my ebook that I'm pretty sure by now you've already read, just go back and read that out loud. It helps. Trust me, it does. And last but not least, we have kinesthetic learner. Kinesthetic, the person who's hands-on. I would tell this person to basically take often study breaks. If you're studying, take breaks quite often. Learn new stuff by doing something active. Like, for instance, if you're reading a book about making money online, do that while being on a treadmill. Okay? If you're just you don't feel like being on a treadmill, you're not at the gym, and you just want to study, chew some gum. It's a real old saying that chewing gum when taking tests or studying stuff helps you think. So I would suggest that you chew some gum, or you can just be working while you're standing. So those are some of the things I want you to consider if you fall under any of one of these 3 categories. Okay. Let's get right into the video. This video, we're going to use an example of a car, right? We're going to use a new car. Now, I don't know if you can recall from way back when in your past, but I know I can in mine. I remember when I first wanted me a car, or I first wanted to get me a new car, I wanted a Ford Mustang. And when I wanted this car so bad that every time I stepped outside, every time I looked out the window, every time I went somewhere, that's all I saw. I saw my car everywhere. And even though I know it wasn't in my price range, because my folks wasn't going to pay that much for a Ford Mustang at the time, and on top of that, it wasn't the car that I ended up getting. But I knew I had in mind having a vehicle. That's what I wanted, and I wanted a really nice vehicle. So when you choose to run a business online, it should be exactly the same way you choose when you're going to select a car, when you're going to select a new vehicle. You want the best of the best. So with that being said, we're going to use the car as an example, and we're going to go down a quick rundown of the overview. So with the overview of selecting our vehicle, we're going to talk about certain things. We're going to talk about your vehicle make and model. We're going to talk about the importance of knowing your lane. We're going to talk about adding mileage. Mileage is important when it comes to choosing a car. We're going to talk about grabbing a parking space. Parking space, a garage, you need somewhere to park your car. And we're going to talk about the car maintenance, the tune-up, the upkeep. Also going to talk about the Carfax, the history, just being updated. These are some of the things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, last but not least, the auto display. So when we think about our overview or our model, the car things, and when we think about online marketing, whenever someone that is looking for a new car, they always have an idea of what they want in mind. Okay? Especially if they have been driving for a while or they're just looking to get something new. Okay? They're gonna know what they want, which brings us back to number one. You select your vehicle and you'll make your model. They're gonna want either a Ford. In my case, I wanted a Ford Mustang. But this person, they might want a Ford Taurus, who knows? Or a Honda Civic, or a Chrysler 300, maybe a Dodge Avenger, whatever. They know what they want because they set their heart desire on it at the time. So how does this relate to the online field? In many different ways it relates. But the obvious is it would be, if you're starting up, you want to have a good running vehicle. In this case, the vehicle with this car ties in relations to your category, meaning your niche when it comes to online. Okay? And your niche could be anything. It can be home and garden. It can be hair and beauty, fitness and health, etc., etc. But that would be your category, your niche. Your niche and your category would be your good running vehicle, would be your model make. Okay? And with this vehicle and this model make, you have to think about when you're at the dealership and you're looking at cars, you're checking out the interior, you're seeing the outside, how it looks, seeing how it feels. Some people even like the smell of a new car. I know I do. I will tell you to raise your hand, but I can't see them anyway. So whatever the category you choose to get into online, have something in mind. Have it already in mind, something you're comfortable with. Because that's the same way when you choosing your vehicle. And when you're at the dealership, you're going to sit in the car, you're going to feel the leather, you're going to see if you're comfortable behind that wheel. So keep that in mind when it comes to selecting your vehicle and your model make, aka your category and your niche. The second thing is the importance of knowing your lane. You got to know your lane. This is nothing more than knowing the product from the category. See, you're going to basically promote whatever it is that is in the category. You're going to promote either home and garden. If you're in home and garden is your category, you're going to promote tool sheds, rakes, shelves, household products, lamps, chairs, doorknobs, etc. Maybe if you're in health and beauty, you might promote combs, brushes, blow dryers, hairspray, makeup, face soap, lipstick, etc. It could literally be anything. Just like number one, when you're selecting your vehicle, your model, your make, it's the same thing. Your category and your product should fall under the same umbrella. Okay? The third thing we want to talk about is adding mileage. Now, mileage is very important when it comes to your car because, again, when you start off your business, well, you haven't kicked it off yet, right? When you're first in the beginning stages of it, your business is brand new, it hasn't took off, and just like a new car you're selecting, most people are going to go for a car with very low mileage, if not zero. So if you're looking for zero mileage, that's what you want to go. You're going to start off at zero. And whenever you want to decide to take this approach with online marketing, because it's the same thing. When you make a decision to buy your car, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to get in, you're going to test drive. You're going to put it on the road. You're going to put it to the test and see how well it accelerates. You're going to test the speed. You're also going to be able to see how well the engine runs. And it's the same thing when it comes to online. You have to basically drive through that traffic. Drive it to your product, where it is, whether it's warm or cold traffic, whether it's paid or free, whatever you want to call it. You do this to add the mileage and the flow, and then you're able to come and bring all this mileage and traffic, and you're accumulating all of this. And basically everything that you have, all this traffic and mileage that you accumulated on the road, you're able to bring it to a parking space, which brings us into number 4, grabbing a parking space, a garage, where you're going to basically put your car in. And in online marketing space, this would be considered your autoresponder, i.e. GetResponse, Aweber, Lead Pages, MailChimp, Vendor. There's so many different ones to choose from, but this would be home to your actual traffic, after you get the opt-ins and your actual product. Now that you're able to see that you have a pretty decent running vehicle, you want to move into number 5, which is the car maintenance, the tune-up, which is very important because you want to make sure that it continues to stay that way, knowing that you checked under the hood as often as you should. You pay attention to the dashboard, whether the caution or the engine light was on or not, the warning signals. You rotated the tires, you changed the belts, you got new spark plugs, you check the brake pads, the oil change regularly, etc., etc. Online is no different. The tune-up would be basically tweaking small areas in your business that could need like a little more attention or work, making sure you're providing the new mileage you've accumulated with great care. Now, this could either be making sure that you're providing new mileage you've accumulated with new content, following up regularly, being of service, because that's overall what this maintenance service is. It's something of service to your vehicle, but in online marketing case, it'll be of something of service to your business. Now, after all of this is done, number 6 should be like a walk in the park, which is the Carfax, just the history. And in your case, it would be the history of your business. You'll go back and reflect on things that you've done in the beginning, some little mistakes that you made, because you're going to have trips and falls. You're going to see what you could have done differently. You're going to take some ideas that you did and you're going to scratch those, and some new ideas that you jotted down. You're going to put all of this into play, what leads into number 7, your auto display. And this comes from a good repetition of all of this, leaving room for your car / your business to be on good display. This means to the overall picture of how your business is running, how it looks, how you branded yourself. So let me give you a more clearer visual of how this relates to online marketing. You see this overall? This would be number 7, your overall display of how your business runs, whether it's running good or it's running well. Basically, the mileage would be the traffic. The opt-in would be the storage where you're parking garage. You know that the product would be somewhere over here. The product, the category. So the bridge in the sales page would be where the product is. And basically, the maintenance would be the value. Okay? What a lot of people are doing is they know their category, they have the product, they're driving the traffic through, they're putting it in their opt-in, they're taking them up through follow-up series, and they're just shooting them straight to the sales page. Now, the problem is when it comes to this, or what people are missing is they negate the maintenance part, which is the value. And this is very important because if you're taking all this traffic and you're running it through your autoresponder and you're just shooting them, you're basically just shooting into the dark. It's a hit and miss, and most of the time it's going to be a miss. People are going to unsubscribe. People are going to go somewhere else. They're not going to want to be associated. They're not going to want to affiliate because they know every time they open up your email, you're trying to cram something in their face. You're trying to sell them something. So what you want to focus on when you do this, you want to focus on the maintenance of your vehicle. Because if you focus on the maintenance of your vehicle, this is automatically going to happen. without you having to say anything. It's going to automatically happen. And so that's something you want to keep in mind, because it's more to online business than just having good traffic or having a good product. It's the overall display, it's the overall system of your whole building. Yes, you'll be bringing in and you'll be building this, which is a list, which is something we can get into later. But overall, like, what are you doing with that list? What are you doing to keep it? You want to keep them on there. And 9 times out of 10, if you're doing this, just driving this stuff straight into a sales page, you're not going to keep anyone on there. You might get lucky, you make 1 or 2, 3 sales, but you're going to be losing people every single day. So this is something just to keep in mind when you come online and you're building business. Okay, so just going to wrap up this video, this training. I really hope that you gain some little more insight from this. If I could ask one thing from you, it would be that you message me and tell me what was your takeaway from this training. Did you get a little more insight? You learned something new? Are you still struggling? Whatever it is, message me, let me know, tell me what you think, and I will talk to you soon.